Hello students and welcome to Mathematics E-classes for class 10. Myself Lajwanti Rangnani is going to conduct today's class. So today we begin with the second chapter, that is polynomials. As you have all learnt about polynomials in your 9th standard, let me just have a quick recap about the topic. And today we are going to study the introduction of the topic, then the types of polynomials, zeros of the polynomial, degree of the polynomial, and the geometric representation of the polynomials. So first, what is a polynomial? In mathematics, a polynomial is an expression consisting of variables and coefficients that involve only the operations of addition, subtraction, multiplication, and non-negative integer exponents. So let me first analyze the entire terminology of what is a polynomial. So it is an expression. For example, you can see over here 5x squared minus 3x plus 6 is an expression in which there are three terms. The first term is 5x squared, second term is minus 3x, and the last term is only 6. So let us see, what does 5x squared mean. Here 5 is the coefficient of the term 5x squared and 2 is the exponent of the variable x. So this is a polynomial in variable x, where 2 is the exponent of the first term, whereas the exponent of the second term is 1. It is already mentioned that the exponent of the term should be a non-negative integers. This is the criteria for an expression to be a polynomial. The exponent should never be negative. Okay, so this type of a expression is known as a polynomial. There are different types of polynomials based on the number of terms which we have already learned. For example, a polynomial having only one term is known as a monomial. 3x and 4xy are the examples of monomial type of polynomials. A polynomial having two terms, for example here 2x plus 5, 2x and 5 are the two terms, so such a polynomial is known as a binomial. Then a polynomial having three terms is known as a trinomial. So based on the number of terms in an expression, polynomials are classified as monomial, binomial, and trinomial. What do you mean by degree of a polynomial? The degree of a polynomial is the highest degree of its terms when the polynomial is expressed in canonical form, that is, as a linear combination of monomials. The degree of a term is the sum of the exponents of the variables that appear in it. For example, first, constant polynomial we will study. So what is a constant polynomial? A polynomial of degree 0 is a constant polynomial. For example, here I have a single number 7. Yet I can express this as a polynomial where the degree of the variable is 0. So 7 can also be written as 7x raised to 0. So we say that the degree of the polynomial is 0, or it is also a constant polynomial. Next is linear polynomials. What's a linear polynomial? Linear polynomial is a polynomial in which the degree of the variable, highest degree of the variable is 1. For example, 4x minus 3. So here you can see the variable is x and the degree of the exponent of the variable is 1. So it is a linear polynomial. Another example is 3y. Again here, the exponent of the y variable is 1. So it is also a linear polynomial. Quadratic polynomial. A polynomial whose highest degree is 2 is called a quadratic polynomial. For example, 2x square plus 3x minus 4 by 5 is a quadratic polynomial. Why? Because here you can see the highest degree is 2 of this. All the terms over here in the polynomial, the highest degree is 2. So it is known as a quadratic polynomial. The next is cubic polynomial. As the term means, cubic means 3. So a polynomial of degree 3 is called a cubic polynomial. For example, 2y cubed plus 5y minus 3. Here you can see, children, that there is no term with exponent 2, but that doesn't matter. Okay, why? Because the coefficient of the term x raised to 2 is 0. So it's not necessary to write it. But the highest exponent of the term is 3 in this given polynomial. So the degree of the polynomial is 3. That is, it is a cubic degree polynomial. Next example, 9x cubed minus 2x square plus 5. Again you can see the highest degree, highest exponent is 3. So this is also an example of a cubic polynomial. So we learned right now types of polynomial. First, on the basis of the terms monomial, binomial, trinomial. The other type we learned is based on the degree, that is based on the highest exponent of the term in the polynomial. So we have the constant polynomial, then we have the linear polynomial, quadratic polynomial, and a cubic polynomial. The next topic we will learn now is the zeros of polynomial. Now what do you mean by zeros of polynomial? For any value of x, on simplifying, that is when you substitute that particular number value in a given polynomial px, and on simplifying, if you get the value 0, then that particular number or that particular value of x is known as the zero of the polynomial. So a real number k is the zero of polynomial fx if fk is equals to 0. See, make it very clear. Fk equals to 0 means what? You are substituting the value of k in the polynomial. So you change from fx to fk equals to 0. Then it is the 0 of the polynomial. How to find out the 0 of the polynomial? So for example, you can see here, I have taken fx is equals to x cube minus 6x square plus 11x minus 6. Substituting the value of x equals to 2. So k is equals to 2 over here. f2 is equals to 2 cube minus 6, 2 raised to 2 plus 11 into 2 minus 6. I have substituted the value of x equals to 2. On simplifying this, you get 0. So we say that 2 is the 0 of the polynomial. If you don't get 0, then that is not the 0 of the polynomial. A bit of revision of 9th standard. Last year you have learned the general form of a linear polynomial, and we know that the general form of a linear polynomial is ax plus b. Just you can see over here, this is ax plus b. You can see this is a polynomial in x variable and highest exponent is 1. So it is a linear polynomial. So how to find out the zeros of a linear polynomial? Linear polynomial px is equals to 2x plus 3. Just for your information, here a, that is the coefficient of x, is 2 and b, that is the constant term, is 3. Now if k is the 0 of px, then what do? I put k in place of x. So now I have 2k plus 3 equals to 0. Further, 2k becomes equals to 0 minus 3. So 2k is equals to minus 3 and k is equals to minus 3 by 2. So here the value of k is equals to minus 3 by 2. This is how you will find out the zeros of the polynomial. How will we come to know for which value of k is the polynomial equals to 0? So this is how you will simplify. So now if you substitute k is equals to minus 3 by 2 in the given polynomial, you will get it equals to 0. So you can verify that k is equals to minus 3 by 2 is the 0 of the given polynomial. This is a long method. We have a formula for it to find out the 0 of the polynomial, and in short the formula is that k is equals to minus b by a. Now what is minus b by a? Here I have already mentioned that b for the given polynomial is 3 and a is equals to 2. So we write here k is equals to minus b by a, substitute the values. So k is equals to minus 3 by 2. So using this formula also you can find out the zeros of a linear polynomial. Let us see some of the examples to find out the zeros of the polynomial. Consider this polynomial 5x is equals to, consider this polynomial px is equals to 5x cubed minus 2x cubed plus 3x minus 2. If we replace x by 1 everywhere, we get p1 is equals to 5 into 1 cube minus 2 into 1 raised to 2 plus 3 into 1 minus 2. On simplifying, you get the value 4. We did not get 0. So what is the conclusion? It concludes that 1 is not the 0 of the polynomial. That means 1 is not the value which satisfies the given polynomial because you did not get your 0. So we say that value of px is equals x is equals to 1. So we say that the value of px at x is equals to 1 is 4. Similarly, let us try another one. Let us find out value of the given polynomial at x is equals to 0. So when you substitute the value of x equals to 0, on simplifying here you get minus 2. So 0 is also not the 0 of the polynomial. So 0 is also not the 0 of the polynomial. The next important topic you are going to learn is the geometric representation of the polynomials on the graph. So let us consider a linear polynomial of the type ax plus b. Be sure that a is not equals to 0, and I have taken an example over here that y is equals to 2x plus 3. Substitute few values of x and calculate the corresponding values of y. So here if I put x is equals to minus 2, I get y is equals to minus 1. If I take x is equals to 2, I will get y is equals to 7. Last year you already learned this, plotting the graph of a linear equation, and you know it that the graph of a linear equation or a linear polynomial is always a straight line. Underline this. Y is equals to ax plus b. The graph is a straight line. And on plotting it, you can see that the graph is a straight line. You can take more than two values as well as. Next we will see the graph of a quadratic polynomial. Now quadratic polynomial means what? A polynomial whose degree is 2. For example, I have taken here y is equals to x square minus 3x minus 4. As we did earlier, here also, take few values of x, substitute in the given equation or given polynomial and find out the corresponding values of y. Plot all these coordinate pairs on the graph and join them freehand. You will get a curve. Such a type of curve is known as a parabola. What? It is known as a parabola. So, the graph of a quadratic equation is a parabola. Now, a parabola can be open upward. It can also be open downward. So, let us see which different types of graphs are possible with a quadratic equation. So we have learned earlier that a quadratic equation has maximum two zeros. It means it can have 2, it can have 1, it can have none even. So let us see some of the cases over here. Suppose a quadratic equation has two zeros, then the graph of that quadratic equation will be a parabola which intersects the x-axis in two distinct points. Now here you can see the parabola is open downward, whereas here in this neighboring picture you can see that the parabola is open upward. In both the cases, the number of the zeros is 2 because the graph intersects the x-axis in two distinct points. When do we get a graph open downward? When, remember very clearly, when the coefficient of the variable x square is negative. That means what? The value of a. What is a here? It is the coefficient of x square. If the value of a is less than 0, when I say less than 0 means what? Negative. So if it is negative, the graph will be open downward. And if the value of a is positive, then the graph will be open upward. From the graph itself, you can find out whether the equation has two values, that is two zeros, one zeros, or it has got no zero. Case 2, you can see the graph intersects, the parabola you can say intersects the x-axis in only one point. We have to take into consideration the intersection of the graph with the x-axis, not the y-axis. Okay, so the graph intersects in one point. So such a quadratic equation has got only one zero. Graph open downward indicates that the value of a is less than 0. That is the coefficient of x square is negative. In this case also the graph is intersecting in one point. That means the equation has got quadratic polynomial has 1, 0. Let's move further. Now you can see here both the cases the graph is not intersecting the x-axis. It means a quadratic polynomial whose graph does not intersect in the x-axis, then it does not have any zeros. Let's talk about the geometric representation of a cubic polynomial. For example, here x cube minus 4x. As usual, take few values of x, substitute in the given polynomial and calculate the corresponding values of y. Let us see the geometric representation of a cubic polynomial. Here I have taken for example x cube minus 4x. Substituting the values of x minus 2 minus 1, 0, 1 and 2, you can calculate the corresponding values of y. For minus 2 you get 0, for minus 1 you get 3, for 0 you get 0 and so on. Now plotting this coordinate on the Now plotting these values on the graph and joining them with freehand, you will see that the graph intersects the x-axis in 3 points. It means that the quadratic equation has 3 zeros. We also know a quadratic equation has at most three zeros. So in some of the quadratic polynomials, the graph may intersect in two, the graph may intersect in one point, and there are chances that the graph may not intersect at all. Depending upon the points in how many points the graph intersects, you can tell the number of zeros a particular cubic polynomial has. Just refer the figures on page number 26 of your textbook to get a clear idea. How many zeros does a polynomial have? Without calculating, you have to just find out that the graph intersects the x-axis in how many points. For example, the first figure, the graph is intersecting in one point. So, this particular polynomial has one zero. In the second figure, the graph is intersecting in 2 points. Moreover, you can see that it is a parabola open downward. So it is clear that the coefficient of the x square will be less than 0, that is negative. And the polynomial has two zeros. Here the graph intersects in one point here, 2 and 3. So 3 zeros. This is a straight line. So it is the graph of a linear polynomial, and we know a linear polynomial has got one zero. So the graph intersects the x-axis in one point. And so on, you can complete the remaining two. So that's all for today's class. A thought for you all. The only way to learn mathematics is to do mathematics. So whatever is taught, practice them. Try to plot one or two graphs so that you get an exact idea of what is taught today. Goodbye till the next class.